Hello everybody and welcome back to Roze and Indy's Beginner Brawl. We're bringing to you today the round of 32 pool reveal. I'm here with Indy.
Hello, hello. Excited to bring yet another pool reveal to all of you.
Yes, I'm quite excited for this. We're just gonna hop right into it with our first custom of the tournament. Our Nomad 1 here.
Yes, it is going to be a custom by 18-bit Princess, aka Sakura Adachi. And very huge thanks to them for helping contribute with the custom map for this tournament.
Yeah, mappers have been great in this tournament. I'm excited to see their maps be revealed further down the road, but this is the first one that we get to show off.
I don't have the stats for the map pulled up at the moment. I do believe it's around 2.76 stars. But onto the map itself, it is of course around a platter level. There is a lot more movement involved with the sliders and as well as some of the patterns. You might notice some 1/4 stream patterns that might require you to have a more precise movement in order to catch them.
Yeah, and a pretty large amount more hypers in general. We'll see a few of those throughout the map, and the distances are actually pretty difficult. The BPM though quite low, meaning that most of the difficulty is on the pattern complexity.
Noting it is not hit sounded at the moment. We will try to get it hit sounded by end of Monday, hopefully. End of Monday or Tuesday, so just putting that out there. You might also see that the mapper themselves also made the replay, so thank you for both the map and the replay.
Yeah, I think this map's gonna serve as a really great consistency test.
Nomad 1 was a pretty popular pick, which is to be expected. Nomad specifics are a skill set that's accessible to everyone at this point, so should hopefully see this pick quite as lot in round of 32 as well. And hello to all the people coming in.
Yeah, we've got a lovely Nomad 1 there. And I think it contrasts really well with our Nomad 2, actually, which we'll get to see now. To Super Rooster for the replay.
Over the period by Tag Underground overlay.
A little lower AR.
It is not the rank set. It is XCon's basic, so an XCon map for a Nomad 2.
Yes, this is a little bit lower AR than the Nomad 1, and a little bit higher BPM at the same time, so the density is going to be pretty intense.
And you may notice shortly some fairly interesting patterns for this difficulty level, especially in terms of sliders.
Yeah, this pick is trying to lean slightly into the identity of Nomad 2 as a tech slot, though mostly focusing on a contrast in density to the Nomad 1. And definitely a shorter pick, but I think it fits really well with the Nomad 1. I'll take us right into our Nomad 3 here. Our Nomad Convert consistency pick. Thanks to Snowflakes for the replay.
We are going to have 4 Nomads this week, an additional convert, so for the Nomad 3 it is going to be a bit longer.
And this is one of the higher AR picks that we've seen so far, excluding the Hard Rock from last round. AR 8.5 should be a little more perhaps comfortable for anyone playing more skill cap maps in their free time. But the deal with this map is it's a pretty slow consistency map for the majority of it, focusing on jumps and these patterns at this relatively low BPM with pretty high spacings. But then around halfway into the map, right here, we get into the hardest part of the map. Really quite difficult, this solo section. Super dense, very difficult. Anyone managing to hold combo in this section is going to have a huge advantage.
It does look a little scary, but just give it practice and you'll find yourself doing better than you expect as you put more tries into it.
Definitely, but also know that it's going to be hard for everyone. So even if you do miss in that section, and if you're able to do well through the rest of the map very consistently, that can help you outdo someone who perhaps is only able to hit the hard part and has some small misses throughout.
A lot of converts definitely do have diff spikes, though I think for the most part we're gonna try to avoid like having to edit anything and like more so just picking ones with like reasonable diff spikes.
Yeah, I'm really happy with that No Mod 3 there. And but I will will say actually this No Mod 4 is going to be significantly lower star rating. By the way, the star rating for that No Mod 3, I think 2.9-ish. I'll pull it up right now and make sure you have the correct information. That is a 2.92 star map. This No Mod 4, 2.58 stars, so significantly lower, but the control element in this map, much higher. Thanks to, I believe, Leaf for this replay.
Yes.
Despite the lower star rating of this map at 2.58, over 0.3 lower than No Mod 3, this map features a lot more control, and so you can opt to try placementing a lot of patterns, as our replayer does here, which can be very effective, but you can also try to follow the patterns and wiggle them in some scenarios. Might feel more comfortable for some players.
Yeah, these are like almost light wiggles in a sense. It's also a low BPM, so just maybe a good map to start practicing that just type of overall pattern. And with these stacks at the end, you do want to make sure to time your movements, since it's easy to maybe go a bit too early or too late.
Really, and very punishing if you do. Mistake on those. We're gonna get right into our hidden pool with our hidden one now. Thanks to Super Rooster for the replay. This at area point 2 is going to be a significant jump from last round's hidden one. Should be more comfortable overall.
Yeah, still, I believe this is like a light platter level. I don't remember if there's hyper dashes in this map.
Well, there's one right there. I think there's not a huge amount, though. Very calm song. This part, you can placement it there, or you can try to follow. I don't believe we've seen any of your replays yet.
This is essentially a step up from Trauma Reporter from Round of 64, where it's not too difficult as far as converts go. It's just, you know, you introduce a little more dashes here and there, and it's just all about adapting that with the hidden. And I definitely want to make sure you get the timing of these stacks right so that you don't dash too early or late.
And yeah, I think that's going to be a really fun pick to see in match. Pretty far on the difficult side, but I think in line with some of the harder maps we'll see, like this Hard Rock 1 here, being our Hard Rock specific.
Yeah, and kind of a rarity this week, we don't actually have an edit, we just have a base map, AR 6.5 with base, and it's going to be our Hard Rock.
Yeah, thanks to Pog for this replay. We have AR 9.1, CS 4.2 after Hard Rock. Some pretty difficult diff stats. The map, quite simple to compensate Salad, but I think will be one of the more challenging maps.
I'd like to point out some of those triples where it's like, you might want to dash because spacing on them is hard to catch if you're just trying to walk.
Some Hard Rock patterns coming in around here. We'll get tripped up by the randomization. And yeah, that's our Hard Rock 1. We'll go right on to our Hard Rock 2 here. Our Hard Rock Convert. Going to be a precision pick again, played by me. Ends up at AR7 after Hard Rock, but at CS 5.9 going to be Very precise. Big step up. And I'm really excited to see how people do on precision in this pool.
This type of song fits like this kind of precision skill set really well.
Yeah, this map does feature some pretty difficult dashes for the CS.
It's basically a harder version of Boy Base Galaxy from last week, which, considering it's a harder pool, makes complete sense.
Yeah, this map 2.37 stars. Big step up in terms of star rating. And with the higher CS, it's going to be extra difficult on top of that. And that is our Ro32. And that's it for our hard rock pool. So we can move right along to our double times. This one played by Senkan. We have a pretty difficult cup for our PT1 here.
Yeah, so it is a cup, so still not requiring any dashes, but it is going to be a lot more control and movement required compared to the abnormal.
Yeah, this map comes in at 2.76 stars.
Definitely a step up in the movement, movement focus compared to last week. Like last week, it was not really. It was a lot more about control. Here, we're really testing out the movement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this map demands pretty good control of your ladder in those walk patterns. We can get right into our DT2 here. Actually, a low SR salad. Gonna be 2.49 stars. Low BPM means we're going to actually have some dashes in this. Not many, but well, actually maybe more than just a few.
Yeah, I mean,
Thanks.
compared,
Thanks to
because
Rooster for this replay, by the way.
yeah, I was just gonna add that this is the only TT that requires dashing this week, but we do want to start introducing it since learning to dash with DT is also part of that control aspect.
This map is pretty straightforward, but you need to be able to spot all those dashes, and it's gonna be definitely one of the more difficult picks because getting used to dashing on DT is a very difficult step up. It's on the shorter side, especially compared to our DT1. That's going to be an exciting map to see who picks and bans it and does well on it. But we can get into our DT convert now, our DT3. Indy for this replay.
So this doesn't require any dashing, but it's a more considerable difficult movement compared to the DT3 from round of 64.
Definitely much higher density.
Also worth noting, this is 2.64 stars.
Yeah, a big feature of this map is these linear patterns with a lot of stops in the middle of them. So you have to have a lot of control over your walk speed and know how much to release.
And just because it can be comboed without dashing, it's totally fine to like just do like a really light dash if you don't feel like you're gonna catch up, like you're not as confident with your walker movement.
Mm-hmm. Tough control at the end there. It's going to be our DT3, and actually that lets us move on to our easy one here. Going to be a convert this time, played by Joy. Thanks for the replay. And at 2.42 stars, It is around the same SR, I believe, as last, a small step up from last week's easy, but it is a convert, so the difficulty is going to be in a different part of the map, basically.
Yeah, it's just all about these timing with some of these higher space jumps. And some patterns that may require you to hold dash.
Yes, this is going to be one of the harder maps in the pool, I do believe. Especially with some of the individual patterns.
Also, maybe a little bit of that reading with some of those closer spacing notes. Very curious if we'll have another double SS on this in match. I don't think so, but who knows?
That would be a problem. I don't believe there's a spinner in this one, but I think the difficulty ramps enough that it will be hard enough that we won't see a tie. Oh, there's a spinner. Joy just dodged it. I was tricked. Well, that's it for our main pool, and we can move right on to our tiebreaker. I need to share this one with you. I know Senkon's a fan of this. Going to actually be 3.19 stars. A 6-minute pick here, Angel Voices.
Obviously, with the platter level, you can't go too crazy, but there are some different parts to this song, and so there's also a few variations in patterns, so it should be a pretty exciting experience.
Yeah, at around 0.4 SR higher than the No Mod 1 for the round, and being relatively hard for its difficulty, this is going to be a very exciting tiebreaker.
You have some of these slider paths requiring good movement in order to maintain an SS. And as far as specifics go, this is also going to be one of the more predominantly 1/4 rhythms that will be synced so far in the tournament. Yeah, pretty long map, but it's going to be a worthy decider of who's going to win the match.
And with that, it'll be us done with our round of 32 pool reveal. Thank you all so much for watching, and good luck practicing those maps for your matches next weekend.
Yeah, worth noting a few things here. So obviously we'll try to get most of the pool uploaded within maybe like the next few hours. And obviously No Mod 1 might take a little bit longer to upload. Also No Mod 1 doesn't have any hit sounds yet, so we'll
There
try to
might,
get those added
yeah,
by.
there might be an update to the map in a day or two. But yeah, good luck with the pool, good luck with your practice, and good luck with your matches. See you for those.
Yep, see you next week.